Hi, welcome to Peace Donkeys. Today I just want to talk a little bit about the bitless bridle form and some things that have happened to me today. So I've had my first ride today on my horse with her new bitless bridle that I made. One thing that I noticed was my horse, actually I'm transitioning upwards, so I've been riding in a rope halter for the last 7 to 8 years, and because I've made this bridle, I've decided to transition into that. One thing that I noticed was my horse wasn't real keen on the sensation of having that chin strap at the bottom there. So because the rope halter has no chin strap, that's quite a bit of a transition for her. And I found that when I was pulling on the reins, she didn't like that tight sensation, and she was kind of putting her nose forward trying to get some comfort, because that was quite uncomfortable for her. So what I thought I'd share with you is how you might transition. So in my case, what I'm going to do is take the reins off these loops and just get a little bit of cord and tie these loops together loosely under her chin, so that she's got a little bit of a loose chin strap, not tight with the reins, and that I thought that I'd clip the reins onto the side ring and use the bridle as a side pull. So when I actually transitioned from a bit bridle to a rope halter, one of the things that I did was did a lot of groundwork first. So I was able to get my horse just to move just with the slightest bit of pressure on the ground, and then when I was riding, then it was much easier to get her to turn with little pressure while I was riding. If things aren't going well on the ground and you're not safe on the ground, things are rarely going to get better because you're off the ground and in the saddle. So it's important to keep yourself safe and to do a lot of ground skills before you start getting into a more dangerous situation. For those of you who are transitioning down, so from a bit down to a bitless bridle, your horse may also not be used to having a tightness around their chin and around their nose. I know some bridles do have a cavesson that's done up quite tight and they're used to that sensation, but if your horse has just had a plain snaffle bit with no noseband, that might take a little bit of getting used to for them. So these are just some things to think about when you're going to transition, and don't go on a 20-kilometre ride on your first go. Just see how you go in a small paddock, just to get your horse used to that feeling to start with, and then just go further and further afield as your horse gets more and more used to the change that you've adopted. Most horses don't like bits, and I found when I transitioned from a bit to a rope halter, it was only a matter of weeks when I went to put the bit back in again, and she was really making it clear to me that she did not like that bit. It was quite uncomfortable, and she responded far better to the rope halter. This type of bitless bridle may not suit everyone, and like I said, if you find that your horse is not responding, you might be better to just tie those rings and just use it as a purely side pull bridle. But you've got those options there, so that's one thing that I like about this particular style of bitless bridle. Thanks for watching, and please subscribe.